In this video, I'm going to teach you 3 hacks to help you get started in your service business, even if you're an idiot with 0 prior experience. My name is Kent, and in 2022, I started a demolition company with 0 prior experience and grew that to over $1 million a year business that now operates in 2 different states. And if I were to start all over with a new service, these are the 3 things I'd be looking at to get myself going and off the ground to start making money the fastest. And stay till the end because I'm going to throw in some extra tips that'll be really helpful for you if you're in this situation trying to make these decisions right now. So hack number 1, this is the most straightforward and sometimes can be the most expensive out of them all, and it's paying for a consultant. Your goal here is to find someone who's achieved what you want to achieve. This can be somebody who's actively building that business and is a few rungs ahead of you, or it can be somebody who's retired and achieved all of your goals that you eventually want to get to. With consulting, you're going to be paying to bring your future learnings to you faster than going through it yourself. With a good consultant relationship, you're going to be learning 10, 20, 40 years worth of advice and shortcuts in year 1, or really at year 0. Now, there's many different ways that people structure consulting. They can do workshops, they can do one-on-one, but what I like to do personally is find somebody who is not a professional consultant. If you're looking into going to the trades, find someone who's just done that and talks about their experience. My pro tip here, and what I like to do, is look for somebody who's retired but is not a consultant. This way, they've already made their money and they're just looking to give back and to support the next generation or be connected to the industry still. Now, this brings me to hack number 2, which is find a mentor. And really, the difference between a consultant and a mentor is a consultant will purely be transactional, whereas a mentor will be operating off of a shared value system or shared vision that you cast or that they have that you're also aligning yourself with. This could easily be the same type of person that you'd be approaching for consultancy, but they may want to help you just because that's how they stay connected to the industry, that they catch your vision and they want to be a part of your journey and see you succeed just like they did. And if you do find a mentor that you really connect with, you can bring them on as a strategic advisor to your business, either giving them a percentage of your company for ongoing support, or essentially create a board of advisors that they operate on for a nominal fee each year. The key here is to be really clear on what the roles and responsibilities would be if you give them equity in your company or if they're on your advisory board. And the mentorship and equity component go really well together if what you're trying to do does require a license that that mentor already has, where you can come together, do a partnership, and ride under their license to get started ASAP without having to have 4 years of experience or doing any sort of training, depending on whatever state requirements you need to have. All right, now hack number 3, which is my favorite and most creative way to get started with no experience, and especially if you have a limited budget and want to get your hands dirty and get started right away. And this is pay to work. And there are really 3 different ways of going about doing this, and so I'll break them down here. Part 1 of paying to work is finding someone who does your service, but only as a part of a bigger thing that they offer as their main service. Now let's take demolition for an example. I could go out there and find a small crew or a one-man show that does bathroom and kitchen remodels and say, hey, I'm trying to learn this one skill that is a single component of your larger service of bathroom remodels. I'd be willing to pay you to be a helping hand, with the caveat that I'm going to probably slow you down a little bit because I'm going to be trying to learn and ask questions along the way. Or let's look at stump grinding. You could go out to an arborist who has an ancillary service of stump grinding, but his main gig is getting trees down, and say, hey, look, I know you offer stump grinding. I know it's not your main thing. I'm trying to learn that so that hopefully I can offer that directly to people who don't want to do it themselves. I'd love to join your crew for a day, for a week, however long, pay you to be there. That way I can learn the ropes and learn this specific narrow skill that is just a small component of the bigger thing that you offer. And that way it doesn't compete with their main service. And the second way of going about paying to work is just finding somebody outside of your target service area to where you're not competing with them. This option works really well if what you're doing is more of a standalone service instead of a component of something larger. An example of this might be pool cleaning. What I would do is go a city over, connect with a crew over there and say, hey, look, I'm trying to get this started in X city. You're in this city. We're not going to compete with each other. Make sure it's far enough apart to where that wouldn't be a chance. And say, hey, I'd love to pay you to just ride along with your crews, get my feet wet, get used to what it looks like performing this service so that when I go back to my town, I know what I'm getting myself into and I look like a pro when I start. And the third option of doing pay to work is finding somebody who does the same service, but to a different avatar or a different target customer. So an example of this might be pressure washing. Maybe you're trying to do residential pressure washing. You haven't really done it before. You want to learn the ropes a little bit. And so you go out and you find a commercial pressure washing operation who only does commercial work. You offer to pay them right along with their crews for a week and figure out how it all works, how the equipment works, how the service works, things that typically go wrong. And that way you can come back a lot more well-equipped to understand what you're about to get yourself into. All right, so let's recap these again. Hack number 1 is pay a consultant. This is going to be the most straightforward and easy way to learn what you don't know now and to take your future and pull it into the present. Hack number 2, find a mentor. This is going to be somebody who has a shared passion for what you're trying to do and a shared vision for where you're trying to go. And the potential here is that you find somebody who just wants to help you out of the goodness of their heart. Now, before we get into hack number 3, I have to tell you about the sponsor of this video, which is my company, Localize. Localize is an SEO agency that helps service businesses rank at the very top of Google. I created this company with my business partner, Zane, to help my businesses. And now we rank number 1 in all of our cities and help many other people do the same. So if you're looking to start a service business, please go to localizegrowth.com and check out our service. Send me an email. We'd love to work with you. And hack number 3 is pay to work. And this is actually where you don't just go out there and offer to work for free, but you actually offer to pay to work on their crew, because you're going to be asking questions. You're going to be having somebody on their crew or even the owner of the business teaching you. And so you're going to incur to that business operational drag. And so you're going to be offering to pay to compensate for them going slower because of you. But this way, you can really get your feet wet, get your hands dirty, and actually perform the type of work that you're going to be doing in the future. I think this is a great method and one that really helps you get off the ground fast and with a little bit more confidence. Now for the bonus pro tips that I told you I'd give you. I really can't stress enough how important it is to be casting your vision and sharing your passion with people throughout this process, whether you're, especially if you're finding a mentor, but even when you're talking to a consultant or you're offering to pay somebody to work, because what you'll find is that if you cast your vision, a lot of people are attracted to visionaries, and they're attracted to people who believe in what they're trying to do and have a passion for trying to get there. And so that may result in cheaper prices for consultants. That may result in you finding that mentor who wants to just help you out of the goodness of their heart, or you not having to pay for work or even getting paid to work with somebody's crew. Somebody may invite you along and say, no, I'll pay you, you're gonna help. That's a big component in all of this, and a big component in landing your first clients as well. So keep that with you, be a visionary. Don't be afraid to wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit and show that you care about what you're doing. It goes a long way. And tip number 2 here is these hacks aren't an either or scenario. They're things that you can combine into over the course of your business. I've found a mentor, brought them on as a strategic partner, but also gone out and found consultants that have a real expertise in one domain and paid for their service. And then I've gone out and found other consultants that are teaching webinars that are a little bit more affordable, and I just attend the webinar. And this brings me to tip number 3, which is be the best student. When you are finding a consultant, or you're paying to work, or you're talking with your mentor, get the most out of your learning and become the best student that they've ever seen. I don't care if it's a webinar, I don't care if it's a one-on-one consultation, if it's just a regular meeting with your mentor. Be the best student, take notes, recap at the end of the day what you remembered, you learned, what some takeaways were, journal, all of that stuff. Make sure that you're getting the most value and the most impact out of what effort you're putting into, because this is going to be the knowledge that helps you earn money and earn a living. And so why wouldn't you give it your absolute best and be 100% dialed, focused, and then applying that shortly after to make sure it sticks and you get that muscle memory moving forward. All right, if you like this video, please subscribe. We're trying to build up this channel, and what I post about regularly is building businesses that support a life and a lifestyle worth living. So please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.